YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Neonzz and we're back with another brand new video. Today we are back on Modern Warfare Zombies because we are trying to get this camo done because that is what I said I would do. And you know, I've had to take a break from it because overall it was just getting tedious for me. I was just sort of getting bored of it, and I decided just to take a break and, you know, chill doing other things. But gun wise, so far we are 25 out of 36 done with this Zircon scale camo. Just sort of been working through random ones. I've been getting lucky. I've had spare guns here, so I've been able to bring two in at a time. It's just trying to get them pack a punch and stuff like that. There's been taking a bit longer, but you know, you just sort of do it as you go along, and you sort of just find a rhythm to best way to do it, and then you just go for the kills. So there was no video yesterday. You know, I've been actually doing pretty well on my upload grind. I've been enjoying it a lot. I'm glad to be back in the grind of YouTube. But no video last night because I ended up taking a day to chill, do a few bits around the house, and then I ended up watching the Royal Rumble with a few of the boys. Because anybody that doesn't know, I do enjoy a bit of WWE. You know, I grew up watching it. It's always just been something that I've sort of stuck to watching. Where'd that bounty contract go? What? Yeah, so I grew up watching WWE, so it's sort of just something that I've always watched. But last night the Royal Rumble was on, and safe to say that, you know, it wasn't bad, but it definitely did not have the ending I think that a lot of people wanted. So they kicked the Rumble off with the Women's Royal Rumble, and it was probably my second favourite match of the night. You know, there was a lot of returns in it, a lot of surprises, a lot of stuff that nobody expected. And, you know, all in all, I was able to predict the winner before. Me and my mates, we all did predictions beforehand, and I was the only one to actually get that prediction right, I'm pretty sure. You know, we had the return of Naomi. You know, she came in at number 2. I felt like it was obvious that 1 or 2 had to be a big name, either like return or debut. So to see Naomi back in the WWE is kind of cool. Hopefully, you know, the WWE book her right this time and, you know, don't mess it up. You know, we had other random people in the Rumble, which was nice to see. We had the TNA World Champ, you know, which is kind of cool because obviously the champ won the belt off Naomi before Naomi left TNA. But to see the champ in the WWE as well was a big surprise, sort of, like, and it made for a good bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Good sort of storyline, you know, to sort of continue their rivalry, but at the same time just keeping two companies together, sort of, like, you know, that are quite big. We finally got the debut as well of Jade Goody, or Jade, how do you spell her name? Cargill? Jade Cargill. You know, she finally made her debut in WWE after being in the WWE for what feels like nearly a year now. But, you know, she finally debuted, and, you know, she put on a good show. She looked in good shape, and, you know, I'd say there's a good amount of feuds that she could have. You know, you got like Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Charlotte when Charlotte comes back. So a lot of big names that she could feud with that could end up being good matches for her. Number 30 ended up being Liv Morgan, which in reality I'm not disappointed about. You know, it's good to see Liv back in the WWE. She was one of the better talents in the Divas division. So for her to be back is big, and, you know, for the second year in a row, you know, she's got sort of screwed in the Royal Rumble. Sort of basically being eliminated in the same way as last year, but she did put on another good show, you know, and it was good to see her back in the ring. All in all, you know, the winner ended up being Bayley. Bayley definitely deserved the win because of everything she's done for the company. So now hopefully she'll be able to go on now, you know, and win another title and push herself, you know, that bit further in the division, showing what she's worth. The second match of the night was then, what was it? It was the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal title. Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, LA Knight. You know, I didn't know what way the match could go. You know, it was obvious that the Bloodline were going to get involved in some sense, which they obviously did. But in reality, I feel like it was a better ending than what we normally get with a Roman match. I didn't mind the ending of it. You know, he took out Roman took out Randy, then took out Edge. Oh no, took out Randy, then pushed LA Knight into like the ropes, which caused AJ to fall on the ropes because he was going for a phenomenal forearm, and then he speared AJ and then picked up the pin, obviously. So I mean, it opens the opportunity for LA Knight and Randy to do something because they didn't get pinned, but I think, you know, I'd say it'll probably be the end of AJ in the title page for a while. Maybe even LA Knight, to be honest with you. I did find it weird that we ended up with the Universal title before the US title. It was just sort of odd, but I mean, I thought maybe it was trying to set up something like where one of the losers would enter the Royal Rumble or something, but they ended up not doing that. It just was the order they put it in for some unknown reason. So, you know, it was weird, but then, you know, I was happy enough because the match after that was the US title match, and that was arguably my favourite match of the night, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. Logan going in with the title. You know, I like Logan in WWE. I think he's doing pretty well. I think he definitely has the right mindset for it. I think he definitely has the ability for it. So I think he will go far. And, you know, giving him the US title at this point was kind of big, and, you know, for them to do it was a great opportunity for him. And he did just sign a full-time contract with them, I believe, from what the reports say. So I mean, you know, hopefully that means we're going to see a lot more of him on, you know, maybe like SmackDown, you know, on different pay-per-views, and hopefully defend this title a bit more, you know, and maybe even get further into it, you know, stick him in a Money in the Bank ladder match. You know, I think that would be unreal. I think he could do some big things in it. I think there's a lot of potential for him to go places in it and be able to show what he actually is capable of doing in the WWE. But yeah, so Logan versus Kevin Owens was a great match the whole way through. You know, there was nothing I can fault about it. You know, the ending was sort of somewhat predictable when we saw that Logan's manager and stuff were in the crowd. But, you know, that didn't surprise me. We had a feeling he was going to win a similar way, you know, and it ended up, like, obviously, the manager didn't have the knuckles in the end up. Austin Theory did, and, you know, it ended up being Logan getting the win by, well, it ended in a real interesting way. I liked the way it ended. Was KO actually ended up with the brass knuckles, hitting Logan with them, knocking Logan out, and then as the ref was counting, the ref saw the brass knuckles, so the ref obviously then disqualified Logan Paul, which, you know, or not Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, because Kevin obviously had used the knuckles, meaning Logan won the belt. And, you know, I'm happy with that. I like Logan as a champion. I don't think KO should be the one to take it off him. I don't know who should be, but I just think it could be, there could be a better way of doing it, I think. You know, maybe you do something cool at Elimination Chamber with it, you know, maybe a chamber match for the US title. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think that would be kind of cool. So hopefully they do something interesting like that, and we get a great US title match at Elimination Chamber. But yeah, so Logan won, and then KO, being salty, ended up attacking Logan after the match, putting him through the announce table. Just typical KO sadness because he lost. But yeah, ultimately that led us then to the Men's Royal Rumble. Now, the Men's Royal Rumble, I believe it started off well. I liked the way the whole thing started. I liked the way the middle of it was. But at the end of it, I was very much disappointed in. I just feel like we're doing repeats of last year and it's sort of boring. So yeah, you know, it started off, Jey Uso was entry number 1. Me and the boys I was watching it with actually found this out a wee bit earlier. There was a leak that it came out that it was rumored to be him as number 1, but number 2 then ended up being Jimmy, and I think this was a great way to start the Rumble off. I think it gave us a good starting point. You know, the 2 brothers battling it out, and it showed that then the Rumble could have went any possible way, because you would not have expected it to be them 2 at number 1 and 2, but I'm glad they did that, and it was fun, and hopefully sets up a match for WrestleMania. It might not, due to the fact that neither of them eliminated each other, but I'm hoping it does, but it might not anymore because none of them did eliminate the other. Andrade returned for the first time, and I think it was 3.5 years. Which, while it's not long, it's long enough. But, you know, he went away, he did his whole thing in the other company, and, you know, he's proved what he can actually be like. And, you know, obviously, WWE saw that and they wanted him back. So now he's back. Hopefully, some big things for him. And, you know, we don't flop another bag, hopefully. So we did end up getting a main roster debut as well of Braun Breaker, however you say his surname. Originally, we thought, I wasn't sure if he was going to be in the Rumble. I didn't really see a need for him to be in the Rumble, but you know, there in the end, it was kind of a good thing that he was in the Rumble. I don't believe he was meant to be. I believe it came out recently that he ended up taking Brock Lesnar's place due to the whole lawsuit thing going on. Which, you know, I guess is a good name to put in that place. You know, it's another big dude. You know, it takes the place of anybody. If there was anybody who'd probably to take the place of Brock, he was probably the best fit. So, you know, to have him now on the main roster, you know, is great. He came out with spearing everybody, and, you know, he put on a great show. And he ended up showing that he deserves to be on the main roster, so hopefully we see more of him. Obviously earlier in the day as well, we'd got Pat McAfee return, and then in the men's Royal Rumble, just out of nowhere, he became an entry in it. It almost looked like he didn't have a clue about it. I'm guessing that was obviously the way they wanted it to look, but it was just funny to see because he made it look, he plays it off so well. He looked so confused. But, you know, he's one of the most entertaining people, I think, in the WWE at the minute. So to have him in the Rumble made sense. And it was funny to see him go in. At the time, Braun Breaker and Omos were having a face-off. So for him to have to go into the ring with them big guys in there, he definitely did not fit in. But, you know, he made it work, he made it funny, and he did end up eliminating himself. He just said, fuck that shit. Speaking of funny things in the Rumble, fucking R-Truth. R-Truth managed to once again make a phenomenal funny moment in the Royal Rumble. He started his night off entering the Women's Royal Rumble at number 24. And obviously he's not meant to be in the women's, so it ended up being a funny scenario, which ended up getting Valhalla eliminated actually. But, you know, that made it obvious to when he was coming in on the men's Rumble at number 24. So he did make it into the Rumble, and then we got obviously moments of him in the Judgment Day, and then the Miz came out straight after Truth. So we got awesome Truth then doing bits. And then Truth went to eliminate Dom, or no, Miz went to eliminate Dom, and Truth grabbed him, saying, no, you can't do that. Only for Truth to end up later on in the match to get eliminated by Damian Priest, so, you know, saves Dirty Dom, gets eliminated by Priest. Hopefully it'll put an end to this whole fucking Truth in Judgment Day thing. You know, maybe set up awesome Truth versus Judgment Day title match at a Elimination Chamber, maybe, you know, I'd be digging. I think one of the biggest things that was absolutely not great about the men's Rumble was the number 30 entrance. While I'm glad to see him back, I just don't think he should have had a number 30 spot. That was Sami Zayn. You know, he returned after the beatdown from Drew McIntyre. it's good to see him back. I just, you know, it made the number 30 spot seem sort of lackluster. I think everybody expected some sort of a big name, you know, rather it be Rock or Zack Ryder or somebody returning, but it's not what we got. We ended up getting Sami Zayn again, and like I say, it's good to see him back, but just sort of a disappointing final entry. The final two in the men's rumble ended up being Cody and CM Punk. I think that was predictable to happen, but you know, it was a great ending, or it was two great people to have end the rumble. You know, both had a great story into it, and you know, it sort of built up a nice feud, if you ask me. Sadly, I expected Punk to win the rumble. That was not the case. Cody ended up winning it. Honestly, was not too impressed with that. You know, I don't think we needed this whole back-to-back story. It seems like right now WWE seem to be trying to break a lot of traditions that, you know, were in the past, you know, like longest title reigns. You know, we've got 2 new long title reigns in Gunther and Roman. I'm pretty sure Rhea is also coming up on one. So, you know, that's 3 new long title reigns. You didn't really need to give somebody back-to-back wins after 20 years. There was no real need for it. And it sort of just felt wrong. It just felt pushed, especially when you've just given the cover of the WWE game. You know, just sort of seemed unnecessary. But that's what happens, I guess, when you're the golden boy. So Cody ends up winning, and you know, at the end of the show, he points obviously at Roman Reigns. Predictable in another WrestleMania rematch that we didn't need. I would rather have seen Punk win. I'm hoping there's a good reason why Punk didn't win, but something tells me there isn't going to be. But keep an eye out on the channel. We will be having a lot more stuff coming out on it, and it's going to be fun. You know, I can't wait. I'm hoping this gun's almost done, to be honest. I want to get this challenge done as well. Oh, there we go. Why can you be finished 2 minutes ago? This gun, fuck it. So yeah, that's my rating overall. I would say the show got about a 7 out of 10. Like I said, guys, let me know what you want to see more styles of, and I hope I can provide them for you. But until then, I'll see y'all in the next one, where hopefully we will be finishing this goddamn grind so I can just forget about zombies altogether.